Everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our April's version of our downtown Tempe Streetscape Improvement Merchants meeting. Um, go to the next slide. Through this meeting, some of the things we're going to talk about is the project scope. Overall, we focus a lot on the sidewalk and ADA improvements. We've expanded the pedestrian space. We've added some new pavers, sidewalk pavers. We are going through the process of making some selections on some of our historical markers, the lithographs, and we've been upgrading infrastructure with the irrigation and the electrical throughout the project. We're going to be adding some bus shelters, and as some of you can see, we have a new tree palette for this as well. Next slide. So as you can see, this is the overall project area. It spans from University all the way up to Rio Salado, and we are currently in phase 3 of the project, where we're currently working in multiple locations, trying to finish up between 3rd and 4th, but also at the same time just trying to be as efficient as possible and attack this in the most efficient manner we can. With that, go ahead and turn it over to Casey with Aiken Gardner.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. So here in the next few slides, we'll go over the progress that we've made since the project started. Phase 1 was the intersection of Mill Ave and University Drive. We upgraded the traffic signal infrastructure underground. There are the sidewalk ramps, the new paver pattern you can see on the north side. In that picture on the bottom, you can clearly see that it's that new gray pattern that's going to be at each of the intersections as you work your way north on Mill Avenue. We also replaced the existing roadway brick that was out there with asphalt and restriped the intersection as well. This is kind of what it looks like on the edge of each of the patios and along the buildings. This is really what it's going to look like all the way up. There's concrete bands that were installed to separate the sidewalk and the patios. This particular picture is at the Pita Jungle there on the northeast corner. You can see it's a 18-inch band that runs along the patio, as well as the building edge line. So phase 2 include the construction in between the intersections of University Drive and 7th Street on both the east and west side sidewalk areas. We installed some new streetlight pole foundations, made some ADA improvements, installed those concrete delineation bands that I'd mentioned before, replaced the old brick with new, as you can see here in these pictures. We also installed some of the new trees that Josh had mentioned that go along with the new tree palette. So phase 3, this is really everything from 7th Street up north, but these next few slides are just the progress that we've made on that area. This one in particular, 7th Street to 6th Street, the east and west sidewalk areas. Similar scope where we improved utility infrastructure through there, kind of condensed everything into that utility band area, which runs along the back of curb on the east and west side sidewalks. Within that utility band was new irrigation and electrical infrastructure that was installed. We also installed some new tree grates, which you can see in the pictures on the left and the right side there. And again, installed new brick and concrete delineation bands. So this next slide is the progress that we've made from 5th Street to 4th Street on the east side. We've really only got started on the utility band area through there. We've removed the existing brick, dug down and installed the new irrigation and electrical conduit through there. Only on the east side so far, but there's plans soon to get started there on the west side. This is on the west side. This is the first of the bump out construction north of University Drive. This is at 7th Street on the west side. We removed part of the roadway and the existing sidewalk ramps on both the northwest and the southwest corners over there by Zips and then over by Mellow Mushroom. We've also installed concrete delineation bands and started with the curb installation in those areas as well. 4th Street to Rio Salado, we've got going hot and heavy right now, working on the sidewalk improvements through there, particularly only on the east side. We've removed the existing brick, regraded the area, and installed the utility infrastructure upgrades. Same thing, irrigation and electrical upgrades through there, concrete delineation bands, and we actually have started on the paver installation through there as well. So we'll go over schedule. Phase 1, which I mentioned before, was the University Drive intersection. That work began in April and was finished in August. That was on the first slide that I went over there. Phase 2 was the section between University Drive and 7th. That started right after phase 1 was completed, and we just finished that at the end of January. Phase 3, as I mentioned before, is everything from 7th Street up to Rio Salado. The improvements from 7th Street to 6th Street started in mid-October and were completed just last month. So as I mentioned before, over there on the east side between 4th Street and Rio Salado, we've got crews working in there now. That work started towards the end of January between 4th Street and Rio Salado and should be done towards the end of this month with the west side sidewalk improvement starting right after that from 4th Street to Rio Salado. So construction of the bump out areas, these are at the intersections where the sidewalk ramps and pedestrian areas are being expanded. That work at 5th Street, 6th Street, and 7th Street is scheduled to take place over the spring and summer months this year. As I mentioned before, we started on the 7th Street northwest and southwest corners just a couple weeks ago here, and that work should continue into May. We've also started on the traffic signal improvements. As you can see over at 5th Street, there's quite a bit of activity going on. We're working on the southwest and southeast corners right now, installing the traffic signal infrastructure improvements. And then that essentially will flip and we'll do the north side next as soon as that work on the south side is completed later this month. That's sort of the immediate areas that we'll be working. Anticipated final completion is expected to take place in spring 2026. So these are just our general work hours, and this will change a little bit when we get to the summer months. We might have a little bit earlier start, but right now the daytime hours are 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and that's for the work along the curb side of the sidewalk and within the sidewalk ramps. Nighttime hours are from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is anything that's along the building side of the sidewalk or up against any doorways. We're working on those after business hours when the businesses have closed. And then we will have some various shifts at night from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is particularly when we are in the roadway near the streetcar tracks, just coordinating with Valley Metro there. I'll hand it off to Allie.
Yeah, thanks, Casey. I'll take over for communication. These photos show a few different things here. Front door access to all businesses will be maintained. These pictures show a few of the ways that the project has maintained those entrances, whether it's putting steel plates into the road when that sidewalk is obstructed or has disappeared completely because the bricks are gone. You can see that we've also put in some delivery pickup for restaurant and retail. I do believe that they only say restaurant on them, but if you are a retail store and you have a quick order someone coming in to pick up their order or whatever it may be, please use those spots. They are on the side streets and accessible to you guys. We want to keep those spots free and as much turnover as possible. So please do use those sparingly and for as short a time as possible. But especially for your customers, we want them to be able to reach your spots as best as they can. We know that this construction has consumed the entire downtown, so it can be pretty intimidating for not just customers, but employees and business owners, everybody under the sun. So a few of the things that we've implemented, you can see here. If you go on to the next slide for me, Morgan, can talk about a few other ways that we can stay in touch or ways that we've tried to kind of lighten the mood because we know that nothing makes this process perfect or enjoyable until it's done. So a few things that we have going are the merchant newsletter that is sent out weekly. I try for every Wednesday. There are a few weeks that it has been Thursday just based on how busy we get over here, but you can sign up for that by emailing me. That's Allie@downtowntempe.com. You can see that on there. And then you can check out the City of Tempe's refresh page, and that will be all the project updates that we have there, but those project updates and then as much information as I can gather that is detailed to that specific week. I will be putting in the newsletter as well. So you can see those updates each week there from both sources. And then if there's anything as a business that you can think of or that you're struggling with right now that we can work on a solution with, we do want to work with you as much as possible. There have been business owners that have spoken up and have had conversations with the team that we've found solutions for, or we've worked around, and we do hear your voice and we want to do everything that we can to make this process as smooth as humanly possible in bumpy times. But these are a few things. I think that might be all of my slides. If we go over to the next one, I will let Josh take the rest.
Yeah, thank you, Allie. And yes, I just want to reiterate a point that she made there at the end. This is our contact information. This is the immediate construction team. These are the people that can help out the fastest. I know that sometimes that we may be a little bit delayed in our schedule. We're making some adjustments at this point in time to make sure that our timing is better, so we have the least impact in business timeframes or business hours. So please, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, this is the immediate construction team. Once again, my name is Josh Warren. I'm the construction project coordinator for this. I work directly with everybody that's on this page, and we want to hear what you have to say, and we want to do the best we can to be a good partner while we're out there. So the next steps, we will continue to have ongoing dialogue with businesses and merchants. We want to make sure that we have some careful coordination so we have the least amount of impact whenever we are doing work around the patios, and that we do maintain business access. We will be having these meetings regularly every second Tuesday at 2 p.m. Our next one is May 13th. So with that, Allie, Morgan, I will turn it over to you.
All right, thank you everybody for joining. Now I'll open the floor for questions. If anyone has any, feel free to come off mute or type it in the chat and I'd be happy to read it out loud. All righty, with that, we'll conclude the meeting for the day. Thank you for joining and have a lovely day. Bye.